Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use. So today we're doing a revisit of a very important weapon. The LEX. Just the regular old LEX. This weapon recently got buffed, but it was changed from being MR0 to being MR3, which to a lot of you may sound like, oh, that's a huge jump. 3 MR is a lot. And for those of you that are in the higher MRs, like say MR13 or 16, yes, that would be accurate, but just so you guys that are a bit later on understand just how fast you get to MR3, MR3 is literally the items you start the game with plus one weapon. So say you built Rhino and that's way more than enough, or you built the Cronus you got from the first boss. You're gonna be at MR3 like lightning fast, no problem. So this weapon remains a staple, I think, for new players, and to showcase that, we're going to use a build that is relatively accessible for a new player, that being this. A rank 6 Hornet Strike, which is pretty tame. Barrel Diffusion, which is maybe a little outside the realistic realm where a new player can definitely get this, but I'm gonna be honest here, new players. If you don't have this, literally just ask somebody. People got like 100 of these that they forgot they had. And you can be like, hey, does anybody have this? And someone will be like, oh, you're MR. Take this. Take this. Go. It's dangerous to go alone. Have this. So just ask for it if you don't have it yet. You'll get more later, and then you can give them to new players. And then we got an elemental in here. Cold is a pretty, you're going to get it really fast. If this is heat, what elemental you choose here doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, but I threw cold in here. This doesn't require a catalyst for your weapon. You don't need to have the 60 mod points or anything. You just need the baseline, not even max rank. 27 points is all you need for this build. And this build is way more than you need when you can get the LEX. But obviously, the LEX is not exactly built like this for my level 50 tests that I normally do. Certainly not. So instead, we're going to do a different test that is still way outside the realm of like realistic thing you should be taking the LEX to kill, but I think you'll find that it performs quite well. This is the exact same test I would normally do, except for it's 30 levels lower. Enemies at level 20 are obviously significantly weaker. However, these are corrupted enemies, and this spread of special units is not something you're going to encounter before like at least level 40. So let's get started. So you can see just how well this weapon does with this build that for a lot of players would consider this to be nothing. That's a special unit, 2 shots. Unarmored, of course. Armored special units, 1 shot if you get a crit, 2 headshots otherwise. That says a lot about just how powerful this weapon is. For a new player, this is a problem solver. If there's a problem in front of you, now there's not. If you can't get through a junction, if there's a Warframe blocking a junction for you, shoot it in the head. Now it's dead. That is what the LEX does best. And even though these enemies are outside the scope of like, if I should be fighting them, because obviously I'm more used to the movement system, and new players, don't be discouraged. Eventually, you will also be able to jump around like a crazy man and do all kinds of fucking hype shit. But like, don't think you have to do this to use this weapon. You could literally stand in front of a guy and just shoot him until he's dead early on. When enemies are like level 5 and stuff, you got no worries. But this weapon can get you through. There's times where you maybe need some more damage. Maybe a thing really needs to die bad. And honestly, there's not a whole lot more left to say. If you can stick and move, this will solve your problem. And for all the bosses that you're doing, like especially if you're, let's say you're a little late to the party on Rhino, who is Warframe I would suggest for all you early game players. This Farming Jackal, a breeze. So, yeah, it's honestly still, in my opinion, the best thing that a new player can get because it solves your damage problem. But yeah, I just wanted to go over it again. It seemed like a good time too. A lot of new people are coming in, like getting ready for Plains of Eidolon and such. And grab this, it'll help. So that's been today's IOGUs, and I will see you guys tomorrow.